What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Ray King 508. Back at it again. So the Steelers lose to the Houston Texans 30-6. The first half was the defense actually getting takeaways, getting stops, and the offense literally doing nothing for the entire game. Now it was close. It was 7-6 at halftime. Uh, and they did relatively okay, but the Houston Texans defense proved to be too much, scoring two defensive touchdowns, scoring 24 unanswered points, and yeah. So for the Steelers, it is another playoff loss. They have not won a playoff game since 2016 or 2017, but the 2016 season. Um, it has been literally 10 years. And after the game, you heard this could be Mike Tomlin's last year. Uh, I think it should be at this point. The man has done literally nothing for 15 years. The entire fan base is done with him. I think that's. I mean, if you go on Twitter right now, you can see the trending Tomlin. It's done. Um, the man has done literally nothing. I think, for me, I haven't been a fan for most of my lifetime, and seeing this team when it has good coaching and when it has Mike Tomlin coaching is completely fucking different. Um, this team has not gotten any better. The team finished 10-7. The year before that, they finished 10-7. The year before that, they finished 9-8. And then the year before that, it was 9-7-1. Um, they do literally nothing. Now, the reason why I'm showing you guys this graphic of, the literally the leads or the blowouts is because it's like that's what Mike Tomlin's career has been. It's been one massive blowout after another. Um, Losing to Josh Allen, losing to the Ravens twice with Joe Flacco and Lamar Jackson, losing to Tom Brady in the AFC Championship game, losing to Tim Tebow in the fucking wild card round in 2011, losing to the Cleveland Browns in the wild card in the COVID year, losing to Mahomes the following year, 35-7, and now losing to the Houston Texans and C.J. Stroud, who, by the way, did not play any better today. Um, it's time, bro. Like, I don't understand, and I will say this because I am a fan, and I said it right after I think the Bills game. I said there's no way they're gonna win a playoff game, and I was right. They shown they can't win a playoff game. Um, you know, it. I think for so long, because I'm running out of words to say about this fucking head coach, but there's nothing I haven't said on this channel that I haven't made myself clear. You know, he when we look at Mike Tomlin's career, it's gonna be wow. Was that whole hell of a lot of underachieving? Um, his first few years he was 5-2. The two losses that he had on his resume was the um, Jacksonville Jaguars when they lost to David Garrard, and the Super Bowl loss to the Packers. So those are the only two losses, right? Since 2011, he's 3-10. He's now 3-10 in the postseason, and these are just basically some of the losses that he's had. But the 3 wins he does have, he beat Alex Smith in the Kansas City Chiefs. He beat Matt Moore in the Miami Dolphins, and then he beat AJ McCarron in the Cincinnati Bengals. When the quarterback is not elite or somewhat elite, the man gets blown out 90% of the time. When the quarterback is below average, he might get a win. I thought, like I said, I thought the defense played somewhat solid. 3 takeaways. They got stops, but the offense was just shit all around. I guess the fire Tomlin chance busted out again because I heard, or literally, they started busting out again. There's no way you bring him back. Art Rooney, if you bring him back, you're neglecting the fan base and you're making it worse on yourself. Because what has this team gotten better at? Okay, they won the division, but if we're gonna be real, I could ask any Ravens fan, any Browns fan, any fucking Bengal fan, the division this year was absolutely shit. So, what are we talking about? Now, the sensible thing to do would be to move on from Tomlin. Because the Ravens moved on from John Harbaugh. The Cleveland Browns just fired Kevin Stefanski. Not when the standard has not been met, and I'm being for real when I say this. When the standard has not been met for 15 years, why the hell should you be able to stay for this franchise, right? I bitched at the Bengals when it came to Marvin Lewis. I said, as long as you have Marvin Lewis, you're never going to fucking win with him. And I was right. He's basically 7 years without a playoff, went from 2005 to 2015, right? They ended up firing him. Mike Tomlin tied Marvin Lewis' record for most playoff losses at 7 from 2016 to 2025. The man has done literally nothing. He doesn't have a coaching tree. He doesn't develop players. He doesn't get the best out of said players, or he doesn't put them in perfect spots. He refused to use the middle of the field. He refused to take chances. And when he does take chances, he's putting it way out there for us and be like, dude, you got to be sensible. You got to be knowledgeable of when to go for it and when to actually, back off a little bit. He does not know how to do that. And we just saw the Ravens move on from John Harbaugh because the Ravens fans were literally having the same problem, and they decided to move on. I think right now, if I'm the owner for the Steelers, I'm moving on. There's nothing to get out of this roster, and it sucks for Cam Hayward because I feel sick for Cam because for all this man has done since 2011, for all he's been through, to only have one playoff win under your belt and to keep losing the way he's lost, it like I feel bad for him because it's like, dude, he's going down he went down the same route as Pouncey. Pouncey never played in the Super Bowl. Um, and it just sucks because it's like you see some of the great players that we have, and they didn't get a chance to win a Super Bowl um, because of this head coach. I don't know where to. I don't know where to even go from here, dude. Like, I'll be at the draft um, in Pittsburgh. I'll be there. I really hope Tomlin's not the head coach by that time because me personally, he's fucking dead to me. He's dead to me. He's dead to the fucking city. The city's done with him. The fan base is done with him. Um, there's just nothing left to say. Um, if I'm looking at head coaching candidates, I'm going offensive head coach, or I might get Brian Flores, or shit, I'll even bring John Harbaugh just for the hell of it, because I like Tomlin. John Harbaugh does have a winning record in the playoffs, 13-10, not bad, pretty solid. There's just not, there's just not where there's nothing this team does that has shown me that they're trying. Like I said, they won a dead division this year. That's not great. They didn't dominate. It was actually quite the opposite. They got dominated, and they had losses that were actually pretty fucking questionable this year. So yeah, if I'm the Steelers, at this point, fuck it. I'm moving on. Just rip the Band-Aid off. Just fucking move on. Like, we're not getting better. There's no proof of us getting better. We can't win playoff games anymore. And I'm tired of feeling like this every fucking year because I root for this team. I go to games, guys. Like, you don't understand. I go to Steeler games. And the last few years has been this same fucking result. Now, they beat when I went this year. I went to 2 games this year. I went to the New England game, and I went to the Minnesota Vikings game in Ireland. They both won, but the glaring result was it was very low scoring, and the defense, even though when they forced the turnovers, they did nothing to capitalize on them. And then at the very end, they allowed their opponent to come back in these games. It was like, why you gotta put your fucking foot on their neck and you gotta put this team down, and they wouldn't do it. Same thing with the Atlanta Falcons the previous year. Same thing, when I was at 3 games in Pittsburgh, they played Joe Burrow, and in Ben's final year, they get absolutely smoked. The following year, they played New England, and like I said, they get absolutely smoked in that one because Belichick out-coached them. And then the following year, I was at the opener when they played San Francisco, and Kyle Shanahan just basically drove a fucking hole, put a casket in there, and put Tomlin in the casket and shut the lid because he just buried him. There was nothing that he could do. Far too often actually no, not often. A lot of the fucking time he's getting out coached by younger head coaches or by elite elite coaches that are still in the damn league. Like, like there's nothing that he has done to kind of show me that he's Andy Reid. Like, Andy, and everybody wants to compare him and Andy. The thing with Andy Reid is, like, Andy, the Eagles fired him. Like, the Eagles actually fired him. It wasn't because he was just bad. It was because it was the best interest for him. Because it was like, dude, we know he's a good coach. He's taken the Eagles to multiple NFC championship games. He took them to a Super Bowl. It wasn't the fact that he was a bad coach. It's just that it ran its course. With Tomlin, it's different. He's not shown to win playoff games. He's not shown to win division titles when you get out to early starts and then you fall off during the season. He hasn't proven to be in the AFC Championship outside of 1 year, and in that year they got blown out by the Patriots. He hasn't shown to beat elite teams. This year, the only elite team he did beat was maybe the Lions, and that was it. Just he hasn't done anything. And going into this game against the Texans, I said there's no excuse. Everybody was healthy. You had a quarterback, and you had the defense playing well, and the defense did play well in this game. There was no excuse for them to get blown out the way they did. That's on Mike Tomlin. No other way around that. Now, everybody's going to be like, but they didn't have a number 2 wide receiver. That's true. I am blaming Mike Tomlin and Omar Khan. More so Mike Tomlin, because he does have a hand in who he wants on the roster. If he's saying, nah, we can run with freaking tight ends and we can run with just one wide receiver, then buddy, you are on crack if you thought that was the case. Not utilizing Pat Freiermuth was such a disgrace. And moreover, just the inability to get the defense early in the season playing well. This team this year was an embarrassment. And once again, you go to the playoffs and you have nothing to show for it. So I don't know what to say. All I know is this. It's time. Steeler Nation's had enough. I personally had enough of Mike Tomlin. I would like a change, and I would like a change by tomorrow morning, or tomorrow afternoon, because at this point, he's a brain dead coach. He's dead. He's just a brain dead coach. He does nothing. Anyway, if you do want to see more videos like this, please make sure to go hit that like button. Make sure to go subscribe to the channel. I will do a video if they decide to move off of Tomlin, or if they decide to hire a new head coach. I'll do a video on that. Another playoff failure, another failed season, and I'm still not happy about it, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, it's been your boy, and like I said, I'm out.